Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. This is Live with Mama Coco, and we are here this evening with a dynamic crew. I call it crew. People who is at work with evidence and facts. People who will be putting their truth to power in whatever they have to say. People who providing evidence because of research, because of who they are as Trinidadians. And to God be the glory this evening as we welcome this panel of politicians, people with a political mind, people who are at work, people who is ready to give their verdict because of what they saw and is seen in politics. And it gives me great pleasure this evening. First, I have to ask God for a coverage right now. I could feel an energy that's not real, that's not right. But I asking God to intervene and take charge. Take control of this situation right now. Take control of this show, dear God, that you gave me the authority to receive and to do. Father, expound on my vocabulary. Father, keep me cautious. Keep me at peace. For your will must be done on earth as it should be done and will be done in heaven. Let me straighten myself up and let me get ready to welcome this panel, a group of men and women that is about to make you understand that we are to be taught and we are supposed to learn. We are not too old to learn. Father, bring some peace, Lord. Bring clarity with precision, Lord. Welcome to Mama Coco's Life and Style. My name is Cora Pantin, and I want to be ready. And I'm asking Jehovah God for his co-piloting to be here, dear God, with meekness and with humility, and with respect and honor. Welcome to Mama Coco's Life. Welcome the panel of 6 right now, and we expect another person 7. Welcome Allie Gee to the show.
Good night.
Welcome Mr. and Mrs. Ramjohn.
Good night.
Welcome Mr. Dexter.
Hi, good night, God bless.
Glory. That's my brother here. Welcome Mr. Arlon John.
Good night, Mama Coco, and thank you for having me. And welcome to your guest, Allie Gee, so far. Allie Gee.
Hi, good night.
It's always
we
a
have
pleasure.
Mr. and Mrs. We have Mr. and Mrs. Ramjohn.
So I want to say special good night to Mrs. and Mr. Ramjohn, and to also Dexter Roberts that now joined the live.
Good night, good night.
Good night.
Well, we are waiting for our brother Anslem. We saw him before, so I know he's supposed to be on the show, but maybe technical difficulties, is making his presence slow. So welcome aboard, everyone. To all my guests tonight, I want to say peace. I want to thank God for your presence. I know this is a very technical and very strong live tonight. We are here to give our verdict. We are here to to see people as they are, how they show themselves for the short campaigning period. We believe the campaign period should have been longer so that people could have been getting themselves in order. People could have been more prepared. Our voting population should have been ready and prepared. Many people, we are not. We just prepared because we are following our party. We're not following the people. We're not following the pain. We're not following the suffering. We're not even thinking about people who they were left behind. We're just about to vote the same way all over again. We haven't heard anything new coming from political parties. We haven't heard like the People's National Movement telling the people, we are sorry. We are sorry for shutting down at least one petrol train that had thousands of people walking and is out of a daily bread right now. We haven't heard any sorry. We haven't heard anything more than we want 5 more years. 5 more years of what? So tonight, I ain't here to talk too much. I have too much intelligence on my life. Too much intelligent people. Too many people who followed and watched politics. And we can welcome who here now is Anslem here. Father God, I want this life to go on. I want this life to go on. You guys don't know what I'm experiencing. But I'm going to tell everybody that this life will continue. So Anslem Richards, I want to welcome you. Nice to have you on board, Anslem Richards. I don't think Anslem is hearing me as yet. Tonight we are supposed to have our brother, Dr. Real, but he's not here with us tonight. He's at home, and he expressed how much it is hard for him not to be here. Your apologies that you gave this evening, Dr. Real, I accepted it, and I was going to send you stuff that in case during the live you feel to pop up, I will accept you. So ladies and gents, what are your thoughts of the campaigns which are wrapping up in TNT? That is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Anslem, can you hear me? He's off again. So we will take that question first. Anslem had supposed to start off this live, but because he's experiencing some difficulties, our sister, Allie Gee, will be the first person to start off this program.
Good night, Mama Coco, my fellow panelists, and our guests who are looking on at us.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. This election season in Trinidad and Tobago has been one that has really been interesting on one end, infuriating on another end, disappointing on another end, and I'm glad that it's coming to an end. The good is that it's coming to an end. The bad is that the campaigning in Trinidad and Tobago really, can we really call it a campaign? Is this what the standard of, politics should be in 2020 in Trinidad and Tobago?
No.
And the very ugly is all the negativity that has come out between the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, propagated by the parties who have the most to lose, because the treasury is at stake. And when people get used to dipping their hand in the pot, they don't want to lose it. And of course, those who want to get the opportunity to put their hand in the pot, they too, they're fueling fires that may burn Trinidad and Tobago down. So those are my thoughts on the campaign of 2020 in Trinidad and Tobago.
Brother Ramjohn.
Yes, Mama Coco.
Well, the question is for you also. It's for the whole panel. And I don't know if Arlon, yes, I talked with Arlon just before the show started. I called him and I let him know that the show would be going on in a way where a question would be asked to you. Mr. Arlon John, I believe there will be questions that asked to Mr. Dexter that you will have to answer also. You will know when you have to answer with someone. But a question will be there for each one. And if by any reason the person who the question was directed to says something that you are not in agreement with, anyone, feel free to put your finger up and you will be given the chance to address, redress, rebut, or say, or align. Okay, Arlon?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm willing.
So, Mr. Ramjohn, can you answer the question? What are your thoughts of the campaigns which are wrapping up in TNT? That is the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well, Mama Coco, again, thank you for the opportunity to be on your program, and really happy to be alongside these fantastic individuals here. And thank you to the viewers who are tuning in and making this, live grow bigger and bigger every time.
Thank you.
My position is this: elections in Trinidad and Tobago has followed a pattern ever since we started having elections in Trinidad and Tobago. And this one is no different. It's just getting more airplay. There's a lot more social media. And the fact is that the substance of campaigns in Trinidad and Tobago, there is none. It is largely ad hominem attacks. And, by ad hominem, for those who might not be familiar with the term, it is attacks against a person rather than dealing with an issue. So they go on the campaign and they throw pecan, talk about people's business, what they do in the bedroom, all kind of nonsense, and they're not addressing the issues of the country. I am yet to see a campaign. People talk on a platform in Trinidad and Tobago in any elections for which I have been, smart enough to understand and follow what was going on, that dealt with the issues that really affect us for the intervening 5 years. Elections is a moment in time, and we Trinidadians and Tobagonians seem to think that staining our finger on that day is all we have to do. So I'm going a little bit further than just about the campaigns. I'm talking about the people who they're campaigning to. We allow this nonsense to happen. Right? We have abdicated our responsibility to hold them accountable and to make them speak to the issues that matter. Right? Not to come with a whole bunch of empty promises that we know, with as soon as the election's over, you're done. That's it. We go back to doing our thing, and they go back to doing their thing, and we don't follow up on them.
We go back to do our thing, and they go back to do nothing.
Exactly.
They don't do anything.
And I could say this because I've been, I wrote about this the last elections. Okay? And I'm going to share some links in the comments on the live, so if folks are interested, they could go and see, because I put it out on my LinkedIn Pulse articles and so on. But here's something that I wrote, at the around the 2015 elections. Okay. And it really is about why do we vote? Yeah. And I say that in this article, I said, is it that we believe that we have no part to play in the daily politics and the management of our country's affairs? We vote every election and then think nothing more of it until the next election or until we feel the effects of their failure to perform. Are we, in effect, a nation that is happy to hire someone to do a job and then never pay attention to how that job is being done, or to caution and ultimately terminate that employee for non-performance before our business is run into the ground? And that's what Trinidadians and Tobagonians need to understand. They are our employees. We pay them, we hire them. By electing them, we put them there to do a job. So the campaigns that are going on now is really, irrelevant, because people vote on party. They don't vote on issues. And that's why, certain members of certain parties could say, it doesn't matter, I could put a crapo in a tie to run for a seat and the crapo would win. That kind of arrogance is learned, That kind of arrogance is people saying to you, is like a certain member of parliament saying, I raised gas 3 times and they ain't right yet.
Oh.
The arrogance of these people to look at you in your face on national media and make those statements. It's ridiculous. And you know what? People are right yet. What is it going to take to get Trinidadians and Tobagonians to force these politicians to do the right thing, to do the job that they have been elected to do, and that they're being paid out of the sweat of our brow? They are not productive,
No, they're not.
They're not making anything to add to the tax revenue of the country, right? Is a rank and file worker.
Ridiculous. Like you will hear Prime Minister say, I am telling you, people, I am not going to show you. I'm not going to show you that document that I received, claiming that the international election, viewers they're not coming. They say it's too much money. It's too expensive. And I am telling you, the people, I am not going to show you. Where in democracy do you entertain such behavior? So now we are here. Oh, you have anything else to say? Because we have...
just to wrap up and let somebody else take the question, but I agree with you 100%. And people if they're not absolutely enraged, then they're simply not paying attention.
Jesus. I never see that form of bullying in my life. I shouldn't say that. Because Eric Williams went on a platform and he said, we're going to eat grass. He said, when I talk, no damn dog bark. I remember that language as a child. And now we have the same raging bull behavior that we were warned and cautioned about, and people accepting it and going out to vote. So to the panel, I see Jamelia was saying something there, but we have to keep this program going, my people, because we have to hear from each and every one. The choice that I made to bring people back here, I bring you guys back because of your contributions before. And tonight, without further ado, the question now is for Brother Arlon John. Brother Arlon John, let me hear what you have to say. Thank you.
Okay. Good night, Mama Coco, again to your guests and everyone who looked on to this edition of the Election Live.
If you can get the kids to because the feedback is
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. The election live is a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. This is my third time on your live stream. It's a pleasure to be on your live. I want to say thank you so much for inviting me again. It's always a pleasure. My take on this question so far, I would say as a young man, I am very disappointed. Disappointed in the sense of that I will piggyback on what David had to say. For over the years, going up the same thing over and over. And it's the same thing this time around. This 2020 election, why I will say I'm disappointed, I say I would see a new party rise up. Because we fed up at the same old thing over and over. I am disappointed, and I am disappointed with fellow Trinbagonians. I say we would see a new party come on board and looking to do a thing. I'm real disappointed.
Anybody else in agreement? A round of applause for the panel for what Arlon just said, because you know, we can't get change when we keep things doing the same way over and over. You know, the great book says that when good people stay quiet, evil continues. The great book said again that we have to be not conformed to the things of the world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of our minds. And it is so sad that a young man, much younger than I am, could be telling us tonight that he is disappointed because as young as he is, he was looking for a change that I am looking for all my 64 years of living. Speak, my son.
Yeah, when I say disappointed, yeah, because for over the years, look, for instance, right now, where I live in the constituency of San Fernando West. Well, San Fernando West, I will say we are ready for a change to say to go to no other part. Sad to say, is a PNM dominant constituency.
You're saying you're including yourself, you don't need a change?
No, we need a change, but what I'm saying, jump high, jump low, PNM is going to win the San Fernando East constituency.
So this is your prediction now? There's a time when you should predict, but you jump in the gun. So this is your prediction. Hello?
Yeah. No, if no, but PNM is going to win the San Fernando East constituency.
Agreed.
I was part of it on the last campaign, so I can tell you.
Somebody said agreed.
I agree, Mama Coco.
They're ready for change.
Well, this is a prediction that is very early, just like, you know, sometime with election, we could get a winner very early, or sometimes they have to count over the ballot boxes. I think you said it, but I never say win until it's won. Because, you know, tonight we are here and we can speak and bring changes. We can speak and things could happen. You see, what happened with the people of Trinidad and Tobago? What happened to the people of Trinidad and Tobago? We always behave a certain way so we can come up with our predictions. Yes, it is Patrick Manning's son, but I don't know the guy. I knew some things about his father, and if you can tell us you see win, I take your word for granted. I'm not going to be here making up any defense. I know our God is on the job and is through all the changing scenes of life in sorrow and in joy. So, Brother Arlon, are you finished with your comments concerning the election, how disappointed you are? So you're not disappointed that San Fernando didn't look for changes, but San Fernando so well off, and San Fernando so much will get the young people into the future, regardless to the party not doing great, the party failing, but one man could get the authority from the people so he could win. So we're not doing anything differently. We're just going it over and over. So that's your plan as a young man. So you are going to vote PNM? Hello?
Mama Coco, to be honest, I make up my mind yet who I'm going to vote on election morning if I decide to vote.
Why not?
Because
You
for
said
instance,
you said San Fernando West is a sure
San
seat.
Fernando East. San
East.
Fernando East. Yeah, it is. It is because presently the two dominant parties campaign. And for instance, like today, the whole of this week, the PNM was in the back in my area where I live in Terradale, right? And the UNC. But if you see how the people come out, it's like a red army. You could just sense victory for the candidate already. Up and down. I tell you, motorcade down to this evening, motorcade all day. So I telling you, San Fernando East is done secure when coming to the PNM. No if, no but. And if now me I is saying that I want a change, and the people have to want a change. I saying I disappointed because I find over the years, what I seen from the PNM and the UNC, we should have seen some other party rising up. Because the country is just going backward and more down in a hole. And we is the future. If we don't stand up now for our country, I don't know. The patriotism is no more. And that is the main asset that was bringing revenue to our country.
This is what I am talking about. Why are we so unsettled, but yet we settling people? Why are we all so unsettled, but we settle in a party? Thank you, Brother Arlon John. Let us go. Let us see if we can get to Anslem before he leaves, but he looked like he's gone again. So we're going to go straight now to Brother Dexter.
Hi, guys. Good night. Good night to Trinidad and Tobago and to all of you in audience all around the world.
Thank you.
We are in the mother of all elections. You would hear every election. The question of today is the politics ugly and dirty? Yes, it has been. And every side would both try to defend themselves. But I have never seen the level of dirtiness, I would say, as I have seen this year. And as you asked the question, I was looking at the Loop newspapers, and here I see Stuart Young is condemning dirty politics, and he was asking that people will do clean politics. Why would you ask for me to do clean politics when your party is doing dirty politics?
Amen.
A photo was shown of Dr. Rowley in a costume whining, and you find that as bad. But when those say the people of the People's National Movement put up photos of Kamala in a bikini and a bottle of rum all over, they were all happy and reveling. So I would say what is good for the goose should be good for the gander. If you want clean politics, then charity begins at home and end abroad. So if your party didn't do dirty politics, I don't think Kamala's party would do dirty politics. But we have reached a time where the politics is so dirty that all you get is lies upon lies upon lies. Nobody is campaigning. Long in the years gone by when I was small, I look forward to seeing a manifesto. I was like 10, 11, 12, but I look forward to seeing a manifesto when an election comes on. And from that time going, I look for a manifesto. Now you cannot get a manifesto. And when you do get a manifesto, it's about 1 or 2 pages, but you can see 1,000 different campaign ads as why you should not vote the other party and why you should vote them, right? So at this day and age, the politics is really dirty. It's ugly. It's ugly when you would see women stand on a women platform and degrade other women and call them Wajang and Jagabat and all sort of stuff. The politics has reached so dirty that you will go and search for somebody's private moment where their husband probably showering them with some dollars, because you know we all do fun things when we behind doors, to put it on social media. And not one time have I heard Camille Regis Robinson, who is the Women's League chairwoman and the third chairwoman of the People's National Movement, condemn what has taken place. But yet, Ms. Green, for Toko Sandigrandi, had to endure all these, did all her linens out in public, whether it was her or not her. You see what has happened, Mama Coco. If the first day somebody tell you I'm a thief, if even I'm not a thief, Allie Gee, tomorrow, please God, the person can tell you the watch that I lost, I found it. Allie Gee, in your head, the memory of I being a thief will never be erased, right? So the people of Toko Manzilina, they would see Miss Green as somebody who is in drugs or doing money laundering, or who has some husband or boyfriend in drugs. That is what the picture is in their head. No matter what she comes and say, she cannot really defend herself. So the politics of Trinidad and Tobago has reached its highest level. When you would put the first female prime minister of Trinidad and Tobago, a woman of integrity, as senior counsel, on the paper, on your ad with a bottle of old oak rum, that is degrading. And who's out without sin should cast the first stone? Because I know Dr. Rowley drinks, I know Reggie's drinks, I know half of them, all of them in there just drink. So what's so wrong if she had a drink? Probably some can consume alcohol more than some. But the politics has reached a level that is beyond comprehension. And I wonder, when our young children see these dirty politics and see these things exposed within society, what is the thoughts of our children today? What is the thoughts of our children today? You know, it has reached so bad, Mama Coco, that I don't even know. Jolene John, and I may be jumping the gun a little bit, right? But Jolene John tried to do something good for the people who were flooded out in the area, in the La Hocketa area.
Yeah, jumping the gun, but go ahead.
But what I'm saying is this, right? Instead of you put that as something good, you use it as dirty politics to say that she are bribing people. This is a time people are going through a crisis. They are going through a flood. When a flood comes and you get washed away, you don't care who brings something for you. You are very glad to receive stuff. Our politics in Trinidad and Tobago needs to be changed. But again, this is the heights that they go. But I like what Michelle Obama said. When they go high, when they go low, we will go high.
Boy, me even go in with that one. Hillary went too high to respond in the last election. But I really don't talk America politics. No. Sometimes you have to go down and pull them up, you know. Tell them, hey, because you're down there, gravity pulling me down. And I ain't coming down. Sometimes you have to go down and meet them and kick them where they can feel it the most. Hey, thank you, dear Father. Father, I like how this is going. And I know the people, I know our viewers are being entertained with facts, policies with principles. Now it should be Deokie Ramjohn. But because we are having so much problem in keeping Mr. Anslem Richards, yes, Mr. Anslem Richards, he's hailing from Tobago. Tobago never get anything going right. So I know Anslem working very hard. Anslem, can you hear me? Anslem Richards, can you hear me? I don't think he's hearing me still. Oh, this is so much problems. So Deokie. Oh, I'm hearing his voice. Anslem, speak up a little more. I'm hearing you.
I'm not very clear at all.
Yeah, he ain't hearing me.
I really have a problem. I'm seeing that I'm getting some internet connection problem. But I'm seeing, but I'm not hearing clearly. So probably, I don't know if there's a way for you to questions up. So
yes.
Probably respond without.
Management, can you put the question so he can see an answer?
is in a mess. You want me to speak to that?
Yes, go ahead.
Unemployment. Well, let me talk to you. Education, health, and unemployment as it relates to legal crime. Well, that's my specialty, mental illness. Well, it's a whole concoction of social and environmental issues that have been confronting Trinidad and Tobago for the years, decades, as a matter of fact. Tobago, especially when education, if you will see that our performance.
Are you guys hearing Anslem?
Examination.
So.
And the examination, sorry, and CSEC and tape.
You could write something, you know, our management. Anslem, can you raise your voice a little?
Oh,
we ain't hearing. Can you raise your voice some more and yes, and watch the screen. Just watch the camera so we can get to see you. Talk louder.
Actually, I am getting the best reception where my vehicle are. So probably that's why the lighting is that bad.
Oh, gosh.
So probably we have to work with it. I'm in the east. I'm in Belle Garden.
What are you doing in Belle Garden?
So I'm not getting the best of. Yes, I'm in Belle Garden. By the pad.
Oh, okay.
Last chance pad.
Oh.
Mama Coco.
Yes.
So let's speak to the issue of education in Tobago. Yeah.
Can management do anything for him?
Right.
No one is hearing Anslem.
That is a
He's a politician from Tobago, you know. He ran for election before, and I know he has a lot of great things to say. But then we will go to Mrs. Ramjohn.
You're muted.
Who muted? I don't know what's going on here right now.
No, Deokie muted herself.
She's off now.
Speak.
Good night, Mama Coco. Good night to all our panelists and everyone viewing here. Thank you for joining us. So our question, the good, the bad, the ugly about campaigning. First of all, it was a very short season. That's very good. We get to see less dirty politics. And our constituents get to see their members, their MP of Parliament. I saw an ad recently on social media showing a can of MPPs, and some people were saying that, you know, this is the most that they've seen their MPs. So kudos to that. But one good thing that I've seen during this campaign season is that there are a lot of new people interested in politics and are putting themselves out to support. However, the sad thing about it is that there are fractions here, there, and everywhere. And we are not able to come together to create that third force that we need right now, that the people are crying for. So unfortunately, that's where we are in terms of my views and having the good during this campaign season. The bad thing, it's the same old politics. It's dirty,
My
it's
finger is
nothing
up
new.
a little. I just want to clarify, and I'm not going to nourish that because it's short, it's good. No, it's bad. It should not have been short. It should not have been short. I think that is part of the evil and the diabolical way that the Prime Minister believed he could be in control. And he believed that he could win the election by giving people little or no chance at all to get their policies out and to get people to understand that this is a new day and we needed a new time and we needed more time. Deokie, darling, continue. That's the only thing.
Thank you, Mama Coco. I also agree with your points. The ugly part about this campaign is that it's always about targeting personalities as opposed to talking about issues. That's what you need to talk about, it's the issues. And my point of view is that if you really served and did what you were supposed to do during your term, then you wouldn't need to campaign. You wouldn't have to go through all of the stress. The people will know that you have delivered and they will automatically know who they're going to vote for. So I want to urge everyone home that elections have consequences. Not voting is giving up your right. I understand that there are only two parties and there's a difficult decision to make. You have to make that decision. Choose based on the work that you've been seen done. Choose for your future, choose for your children. It is your tax dollars that pays these MPs. And as all of our panelists would have said, you are electing them into office. They are our employees. Voting is the opportunities for change. The community depends on you. Trinidad and Tobago is in distress. Every vote counts. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome, my people. Awesome, Deokie. What I am saying here right now, and I know Allie Gee have something else to say concerning this question when while we get prepared to move into our other question, because this is the night. We're not guessing anymore. We saw them, we heard them, we saw what they did, Allie Gee, for the past 5 years. We saw how Sister Kamala and all didn't speak up enough as an opposition party. Her campaign this year was not powerful and vocal enough. She has other people fighting her cause, and the names that she carried and the convictions that she received from the public to make her lose her stance as Prime Minister. Do you think she corrected it right now?
Mama Coco, here's what I'm going to say about the UNC and Miss Kamala Bissessa. I think that in her last position as the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, she made some errors, and the errors was in her cabinet. I think she tried to correct her errors because, you know, this is the only Prime Minister in Trinidad and Tobago's history that fired people from her cabinet like she did. She did. We have to give her credit for where she went wrong and where she went right. And she moved people like no one else has done. And people, I think one of the biggest problems we have in Trinidad and
we're getting a real something happening is where?
I don't know. We're getting a feedback, like something shuffling around.
And none of us not moving, so
no, I don't know.
It could be Anslem trying to get in.
Possibly.
No, it's not. No, we're not having it. No, go ahead, Allie Gee.
Yes. I think that this campaign, I think one of the strategies perhaps Miss Bissessa was angling for was for the people of Trinidad and Tobago to measure performance. And in truth and in fact, if the people of Trinidad and Tobago measured UNC's performance, right, her as Prime Minister, her performance, and this Rowley administration's performance, then they would come up to see who did better, right? This is like a woman looking for a man. You had one. You know, I have to inject a little humor in this thing, as serious as it is. You had a man. You was there for 5 years. Certain things he didn't do. You get another one because you say, see this, I can't take another 5 years of this man who want to sleep till 12 o'clock. He ain't cutting no grass. He walking around with his jockey shorts on his hip and it's looking sexy. And then when it's night, it's 6 o'clock. All the time is 6 o'clock. So you're going to pick up and
God.
Mama Coco.
Go ahead.
So you pick up the man who was, you know, he was auditioning. Right? There's the UNC auditioning, I'll do a better job. And the man come in, he cut some grass. It was 12 o'clock. Sometimes there were 1 or 2 nights of 6 o'clock. But he had on some nice boxers. He made the place. So he made some errors, so he wasn't perfect. But then you decide, you know what? This man promised it will be 12 o'clock every night. So you start to look at the old man now, because the old man is to bring you flowers, right? And you have to sit down and compare the performance. If Trinbagonians look at what Miss Bissessa did, Prasad Bissessa, and look at what Rowley did in his 5 years, I mean, it's sad, Mama Coco, because I've been talking to people in this short election period. And when I ask them why you want to vote for PNM, they really cannot articulate. They really cannot articulate. They started talking about, I born a PNM. I have looked at many Trinidad and Tobago birth papers in my job here in the US, because I have to, I deal with immigration, you know, documents, and I have to see papers. And I have never seen PNM on anybody birth papers, so I don't understand how people tell me they're born a PNM. I don't know, maybe something new. You know, something new. They cannot articulate. And when you tell them, well, let's look at the GDP, Mama Coco, sadly, a lot of them don't know what GDP mean. They must think $1 paper or some new party or something. They don't know. So are we, you know, when I've come to Mama Coco, the sad truth I've come to, do we have an electorate that understands what is the issues? Do they understand what they need to be looking for to vote? I think no. I think no. So going back to the question with Ms. Bissessa, she should, I think her campaign could have been more dynamic. It definitely could have been more dynamic. All we're seeing is big trucks, and I mean, I think the campaign this year is who are the better song, because I mean, the songs are spectacular. I mean, vote for the rising sun, and I mean, if you see me, I like them. I dance for PNM.
Vote for the rising sun while we youths running around tongue, while the youths running around tongue with their gun.
Yes.
Vote for the rising
and
sun.
And then I saw this guy sing Ganja Planta singing for the PNM. So I thought I was in reggaeton, so I was having a time. But the issues are not being brought to the table. What are we voting for? So I think that perhaps she is thinking the people will look and say, compare and contrast, and see who has outperformed who. But sadly, our electorate don't seem to be up to that level. Maybe it's just Bacchanal. They really like the Bacchanal and the wave and the jersey and the pump and the, oh God, Jesus, I'm tired, Mama Coco. Ooh, it's been a short, but it's hectic.
Who just ring a bell there? I think my daughter have a bell here.
Please ring that bell.
I think management have a little bell.
We need a bell.
So is either I hear a bell or something going on in my head. Anybody else hear bell?
I hear something. I thought it was a spoon drop, but it could be a bell.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here.
Dexter,
we are here. Oh, Dexter hand raised. Go ahead, Mr.
Mama Coco.
Mr. Dexter Roberts, yes.
I want to agree with Allie Gee that the people of Trinidad and Tobago, in terms of measurement and performance, Kamala would have done a magnificent job. But what has happened, she haven't campaigned as vigorous as she had done before. I think, you know, based on the fact that when she came into office the last time, she had Jack Warner and she had all these high performance persons behind her. And now this time around, she's pedaling gingerly because of all these mismanagements that people have spoken about. She tried to put all these high profile people behind. But if we go at performance, really and truly, Kamala Prasad Bissessa in her administration gave 95,000 laptops to children, while Rowley gave 0. VAT on food was 0% for VAT on foods. With Rowley, it was 12.5% because he believed in tax, property tax, income tax, exile tax. Everything for Rowley is a tax. When you look at schools, Kamala Prasad Bissessa built 106 schools in 5 years. This People's National Movement built 1 school. Diesel under Kamala Prasad Bissessa was $1.50 per liter. Under the Rowley administration, it's $3.41 a liter. Kamala subsidized diesel to help poor people so that we can all have a car and able to travel, because Kamala said that.
I think, keep your last word. I think we just connected with Anslem by phone. Let's see if we could hear him.
Not coming true.
Not coming through.
I hear nothing.
Go ahead, Dexter.
When you look at, so Kamala once, she said that when somebody's young, the first thing you want is a house and a car. But most times people as a young guy coming out of school, you get a job, the first thing you want is a car. So she subsidized diesel that you can pay.
Let's say hello. Hello, Anslem. Boy, that place in Tobago is a dead zone. Anslem, you have to drive to Roxborough, you know. No, don't laugh. We don't want him to believe it's a... We're not hearing even a phone call. So, Anslem, I think you should drive to Roxborough.
How far is that?
Not too far. You could drive to Roxborough. Will I even go finish right now?
Not with this panel.
No.
Yes, Mama Coco. So when we look at job creation, under the Kamala Prasad-Bissessar administration, they created 55,000 jobs. Under the Rowley administration, 100,000 jobs was lost. Pension increased with Kamala Prasad-Bissessar by $1,000. In 5 years, the cost of living has gone up, and Rowley has not increased pension by 1 cent. Wage negotiation, Kamala did 135, while Rowley did 0.
One question, Dexter, I want to ask you. Under the PNM within this 5 years, right? Because a lot of the people who support the PNM are the older people. You hear everybody talking about their mother and their aunt just threaten them. How much money has the PNM given to the elderly people under this administration?
They have received $0. And what I want to also add, Allie Gee, I remember as a young child, pension was raised to $700. And when Basdare Pandey came into office, he said pension will no longer be going up by $50. And he raised the pension immensely by $2,000 one time. Then Kamala come and drop $1,000.
Max, one more question about the pension, because I think this is very important. Because a lot of people, older people in Trinidad and Tobago, depend on their pension. Do you know how much money Dr. Rowley and his crew raised his pension to? Do you know what is his sum he raised his pension to?
I think $56,000.
$65,000 a month.
65 for him and 55 and 56 ministers.
But he couldn't give the old people who are ready to sweep on his behalf $500 more. That is performance.
And what we forget, Allie Gee, when you look at performance, these seniors have to realize that your young people should remember that the very said pension that Kamala Prasad-Bissessar have raised by $1,000, not $20, this helped to mine half of them.
I think they was closing the fridge, so they didn't hear you. Say it again.
So when you look at performance, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar have built a children's hospital with state-of-the-art equipment. And if they were to measure, as you are saying, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar have outdone Dr. Rowley by miles, by yards, by kilometers. She have outdone him immensely.
I see no question.
Winston Toussaint is saying if there is no money, how can he raise their pension, Dexter?
I will answer that question. I will answer that question. The same way he found money and he had to go to the cabinet to get his $65,000 pension when he comes out, and to get the $56,000 for the ministers and them. The same place he went and searched the pension for himself and his ministers and his friends, he could do it. The 20 million a year that they're giving Al Ferrari, they can use some of that to put pension. The 20 million a year that they're giving could have given 100,000 food cards to people within the 5 years per year.
Ooh. Well, look at Arlon John. Finger is up. I think Mr. Ramjohn have no, I ain't see hand go up yet, but Arlon John finger is up. So let me hear what Arlon have to say.
Okay, Dexter.
Salisha Mohammed. How you pronounce that? M-O-H-D.
Mord?
More. I would just say Salisha More. The same way he raised his own pension, where he get the money, Winston. Oh boy.
Okay, Dexter. Now, I want to agree with you and Allie Gee, right? This is what I say I am disappointed about. Things like this. People, it have the internet and it have nothing out there to do research. Why keep making people put something in your head and you do no research of it and just keep on peddling it? If you know how that is sicken me. Now, I ain't vexed with the person comment, but these things does get me real angry because, Mama Coco, this government coming on Kamala, them thief. Right, Mama Coco?
Mm-hmm.
No, why Trinidadians and Tobagonians should be disappointed? The fact is, we ain't seen nobody lock up. And these are the things that have me disappointed. We should be seeing people lock up. We should be seeing people assets seized, and none of these things have taken place in the past 4 years, coming to this 5 years and his election. Nobody lock up, nobody assets seized to get back something to citizens.
Wow.
Come on, time for we to wake up as a people. Stop taking people nuisance, keep on peddling it. They throw out something and you keep running down the road with it. You ain't do no research on it. Oh gosh, time for we to wake up as a society, as a people. Stop peddling things that people give you and running down the road with it. And that is just my little interjection, the Dexter analogy.
Mama Coco, you have civil servants with the same salary. Under Kamala Prasad Bissessa, they had 135 different wage negotiation. Rowley have done 0. You have nurses working. You have police working, you have civil servants working on the same cost of living, but yet you could raise your own salary and find money. And I just want to say one thing before I end. Allie Gee, if you remember the politics of McGivers College, when I became president, my stipend was supposed to be $2,500. I personally cut stipend from myself and my whole administration. I took $1,600 instead, and I gave my regular members $900, who was getting to $1,000 and $900, and my VPs and them, I cut them also from $2,000 to $1,600 to $1,500. Why did I do that? Because when I look at the needs of the constituents and the things that I wanted to do for students, Thanksgiving meals, when I want to do Christmas party, do an outdoor Christmas tree, Diwali, Eid, celebration, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, I realized that we didn't go there for money, but we are there to serve, and service should be the first thing. Muhammad Ali said that the service you do to others is the rent you pay here on earth, and we must make politicians become accountable. You can't raise your pay first and don't raise mine. He should have raised pension if it's by $100. He should have raised people's salary if it's by $20, and then you could take $65,000 for yourself and $56,000 for your ministers. Thank you.
My goodness. Whoa. Thank you so much, Brother Dexter, because we are about to go for 60-second break. And when we come back, we would be able to get our new question in, except Mr. John. And before we go, we're going to try Anslem again. Let us see if we can hear him. You hearing him?
Yes.
Yeah, we hearing him loud.
I'm not hearing him at all. Well, you guys listen to what he has to say. I am going to go out and come back in, okay?
You want me to speak to Mama Coco?
Mama Coco went out to come back in, but I think the question she had posed for you is, what do you think of the campaigning in Tobago?
Where is Anslem?
He's talking, but it's very faint.
Campaigning is good, really, really poor. There's a lack of, strategic policy direction. There's a lack of that gives hope in the future of the island, coming from what platform seems to be the society where people are living.
I ain't hearing him.
He's going in and out. He's not.
I'm not hearing him. Management, we're not hearing Anslem good. You guys hearing him now?
I heard something. Anslem, speak louder. Yes.
Yeah, we hear something. Go ahead.
Stay right there.
Huh?
Stay right which part you are. We hearing you clearly right now.
Right, okay. What I'm saying is that the campaign, the narrative, the messages that are presented are not interesting. They are not generating hope and anxiety. Honestly, anxiety in terms of what the future holds. It's just a set of old talk and foolishness where people are making allegation. As a matter of fact, I have classified the politicians this year as drive-by politicians. You have more music, chocolate, more than what is being said on the political platform. So I think we can probably classify this as a political roadmap competition, or just for the vote of the electorate. We really need to seek higher ideal in terms of our politics and how our politicians conduct themselves. What counts for campaigning, we need to move, and that has to do with the level of preparedness, the level of understanding and preparedness of the population to demand a higher standard. Anything past the politics now, you have ministers who have spent 5 years in government driving around the island and just taking projects and claiming that they would have worked with the THE to have that done, and it's really not generated that level of enthusiasm and interest by majority of the population. So I don't know what the voter turnout is going to be in this election based on getting the same level of enthusiasm and involvement. I know COVID-19 would have probably placed a restriction on people's involvement in the political activity. But beyond that, you're not getting that level of participation. So it's really a kind of flatline political season this year. But we are about 48 hours from the poll, so we'll see what that says.
Wow.
It's really poor.
Yes.
We need to have politicians who can inspire. In the days of A.N.R. Robinson, when we were united behind certain fundamentalists in terms of our right to self-determination in the context of internal self-government, you had a unified Tobago moving in that direction because we understood and what was necessary in self-government and why we needed it. We are talking about 40 years after we have won the argument in the parliament in 1977. We're still fighting that same issue of internal government. And our politicians on the other side are not speaking anything that is, close to that kind of realization and sensitivity after the importance of constitutional reform. I know that to be going at different political space in terms of our socio-economic development. The current constitution
constitutional construct have held Tobago in colonization since 1962. Let me give you how that works. We have a crisis on the island now that involves 82 acres of land in the Crown Point area, where the government in Trinidad, and I emphasize that, the government in Port of Spain decided that they want 82 acres of land in Crown Point to build an airport terminal. And that will result in the disruption of over 100 families. You understand? And that decision was not made in Scarborough, you know. That decision was made in Port of Spain by those who have colonized us constitutionally for the last how many years. And our island government was not part of the decision-making process. Enough affairs in Tobago, and until we fix that constitutional arrangement, I don't think Tobago will ever experience it for the
Wow.
It's a sad experience for young Tobagonians.
Wow. That's an honest fact.
Yeah, it's a fact. So we have been living every day, you know, or you and Cindy and those of us who have experienced, you know, we do in 1996 when Robinson won the 2 seats in Tobago, what Port of Spain did, colonizers, they shut down the Ministry of Tobago Development and they eat grass.
They eat grass, exactly.
That's correct. You know, and it was really, and I think it's that hard experience that led to Tobagonians to really galvanize this about the idea. You know, but we are still at that place where we are fighting for that realization of the right to how we live on this island. You know, this is our story. We have to write it, you know.
Yes, we have to write it and narrate it.
On the other side of the book has to determine our story.
That's right. So Brother Anslem, a lot of people hearing you now, but I have to ask you, how is the race going? I don't know if there's a question inside for you, but as we have you here, how is the race going between the two leading parties?